It seems as if they didn't want to be around you. They couldn't wait to get away from you. They didn't want to be in your presence, and every chance that they got away from you. They got gone. It seems like they were itching for a scratch, and you gave it to them. You released them, you set them free, you let them go. You said, bon voyage, arrivederci. You bid them mozzarella and fettuccine. So why are they mad? They got what they wanted, right? You gave them what they asked for. They wanted to be away from you, and you done it. They got to the final destination. So why are they mad? Why on earth would they be mad when things come to an end? You continue to stick around and stay with that narcissist or that toxic person because you love them, but not because you like the way that they treated you. You spent all that time sticking around hoping that the old them would come back, that the person that you fell in love with would show up again, that your dearly departed would come back home. But they never did. They left you lonely, so you had no choice but to leave. Why would they be mad and upset with the person that freed them when they acted like that's what they wanted? They wanted to be free. They wanted to go out there and do whatever they wanted to do away from you. You would think they would be relieved, right? When I think about the numerous times that I departed from the narcissist, he kicked all sorts of fits about it. No matter how much he would stay out late on me, no matter how many other people that he would get into new relationships with while married, the narcissist would get upset with every single separation, every single departure, every single attempt to divorce him. And I think that there are 3 reasons that narcissists get mad at you when it's time for the final departure. The first reason is they feel like they have lost their toy. Secondly, they feel like they have lost control. And third, they have lost their reputation. Narcissists get highly upset when they feel like they have lost their rag doll, the one that they tossed all over the place and took out their frustrations on. They get upset and mad when they have lost their punching bag. They have lost their puppet on the string. They have lost their manipulation gadget or their tool. They are highly upset about the fact that they can no longer use you. They can no longer take out their pain and misery on you. They wanted you to be that main source. They needed you to hold their secrets. They needed you to be there and absorb all of their punishment. They got used to you being there. They weren't expecting for you to abruptly leave. They got comforted by the fact that they can come home and take all of their misery out on their spouse. They got comfortable with the fact that they can come home and let loose on you, and you wouldn't tell a soul about it. You would keep all of the monster's secrets. They can give you a bruise on your forehead, and you would just cover it up with makeup. They like the fact that they can come home and practice on you, practice their manipulation tactics on you so that they can go out and use them on new supply. They feel like they lost their crash test dummy. They lost their lab rat that they experimented on. This is how they see you. They see you as property. They see you as something that they own. And they get very highly upset with the idea, the thought, and the reality that their possession has been taken from them. The second reason that they get mad at the final destination, when you decide that it's time to go and you leave, is because they have a loss of control. Their ego has just taken a major hit. They've taken a nosedive into the deep abyss, controlling you made them feel very powerful, and they now feel like they've lost their power. They can't handle it. They're a very sore loser when it comes to loss of power. Control is the engine that keeps them running. They have no self-control, so they really needed you to be in their life so that they can have some sort of control. They can have some sort of ability to be able to express control. They love being able to come home and tell you what to do, boss you around, tell you what to wear and what to eat. And you've taken that away from them. They get highly upset about that. Control is one of the very things that makes them a narcissist. It goes to the core of who they are. They have a complete loss of self when you take away their inability to control you. Being able to dominate you, rule over you, gives them a strong sense of power. And when you leave, you snatch that away from them and you take it with you. They become super mad, super irritable, and super pouty when you leave. They don't really care about your threats to leave all so much. They care about that final departure. When you finally leave them. When it's complete and settled and you're not coming back. That is what makes them mad. They get so mad that they cuss you out and they yell all types of threatening things towards you. They get so mad that they start giving you deep insults. They get so mad and they tell you that you're not going to find anything else out there or anything better out there once you once you leave. The last thing that makes the narcissist mad when you have your departure, when you reach your final destination, is they lose their reputation and their false image. The narcissist needed you there to prop up their image to the public. They needed you to help them show this face that they were a good member of society, that they were a respectable human being, that they were a faithful married man, that they were a godly man. They needed your help to prop up that mask to the general public, to their family even. They spend all this time perpetrating, and they use you to help them do it. If you leave them, you start to create a scene that they weren't prepared for. You start to create a narrative that they're not prepared to author. They don't want to have to explain to people why they're not married anymore, why their spouse left. How could they lose such a good person? How could they lose their spouse? They don't want to have to answer all those questions. What, when, where, how, and why. They are afraid of their cover being blown. The covers being pulled out. They are afraid of exposure. You were their covering. Of course they're going to get upset if you leave. They can't really hold up that facade by themselves. They needed you there to do it. They needed you there to take up all of their slack. They know that it's going to be numerous questions. They know that people are going to start to put two and two together. He couldn't have been that great of a guy if his wife just upped and left after she put in 14 years. What's up with that? What really happened? What's the true story? Why would you leave after you have previously uprooted your life just to be with them to begin with? Why would you be willing to risk it all, lose it all, and start over? He now has a tarnished image of being a divorced father, a man that now has to be on child support. He does not like what that does to his image that he's trying to portray to everyone. He's going to get very upset at you for trying to damage that. Very upset with you with taking that away from him. What the narcissist does not understand is that your final destination is not about leaving them. Your final destination is about obtaining the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. Your final destination is to do the will of your Father without any hindrances. Your final destination is to reach your hope, your future, and your vision to operate in all 9 fruit of the Spirit. They should not be getting mad and upset with you for all the things that they pushed for. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing until they were the ones who pushed you out of the door. How can they be mad about something, mad at you about something, for something that they're responsible for? If they didn't want it done, they wouldn't have done it. You have every right to leave that narcissist if you want to. You have every right to be happy if you want to. Every right to live in the fullness of joy of the Lord if you want to. You have free will to arrive at your final destination. You have free will to bring things to an end. You do not have to stay with someone who is of unequal yoking. You do not have to stay with someone whom you do not agree with, who you can't walk together with. Let the devil stay mad. Let the dead bury the dead. God has already predestined you for your final destination. You have a hope and a future. You have an expected end to get to. You can't stay with a narcissist. They got what they asked for. They got what they came for. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and that's exactly what they did to the relationship. And that's what they tried to do to you too before you got away. Things came to an end because they had to. Things came to an end because they needed to. Let the devil be mad. He will always not like it because you're blessed like that. Don't be afraid to depart. Don't be afraid to walk into your destiny. And never be afraid to walk into the marvelous light.